was a world of possibilities when Ronnie Radke fans pondered the new album that Ronnie would produce when he finally got out of prison a couple months ago. Now it is here, and though Ronnie's performance is stronger than ever, why didn't he just leave the epitaph battles to the fans? Hey, it's Jess Paul of WreckedRadio, and Falling in Reverse, the Drug in Me Is You debut album is here, Ronnie's new band. I have never been more polarized about an album. I can honestly say Ronnie, to me, has never sounded better. He's never written better music. And even breaking outside of his box that we originally knew him to kind of be in his genre, his kind of label. But it is an album that is full of spite for his old band, his friends, and his parents. And hey, who doesn't like an angsty album? But I didn't think Prison could make someone so arrogant as he was. As I found him on this album, I thought Prison would be humbling. But I guess that's just his way of showing us how much he's overcome. This was an album filled with amazing lyrics, great songwriting, but a very bitter message. I'm going to start off talking about Tragic Magic because, number one, Raised by Wolves, along with Graceful Goodbye, I really had nothing to say about it. Well, you know what? You guys talk about it. Tragic Magic was one of my favorites musically, and it really did show how he was creating a whole new style as opposed to the old ETF that he's been dragging around, that kind of name that was kind of taken from him. So in this song, it's where the innovation starts, but it is also where the arrogance I was talking about starts. King of the music scene, Ronnie, I love you so much. I think you're great, but I don't know. You sound like Kanye to me. And I hate Kanye, just for that reason. The Drug in Me Is You, it was like Situations all over again. It was the single, it was the hit, it was that one that kind of reminded us why we loved Ronnie in the first place, but also introduced us to a whole new world. This story, at least the video, told us of the story of him being incarcerated. Now, a lot of fans have said that the title is sort of a cliche. I would agree with that if it wasn't so relevant to his story, especially. One of the couple reasons why Ronnie was taken into jail was drug possession. It was something that he overcame. So by calling this album and calling this title track, The Drug in Me Is You, it kind of puts that notion of being addicted to something in better hands. As if, being with a person is better than sitting with drugs and being addicted and being controlled by drugs instead of being someone you love. Yes, it's a line that you might have heard before, but I think it kind of works for this album. What do you think? I'm Not a Vampire was a lot of your guys' favorites, and I totally agree. This one was incredibly fun and had some of the greatest hooks and lyrics, including Whiskey Seems to Be My Holy Water, which is one of my favorites. So Good Girls, Bad Guys. This song, when I got to it, I had it on the background when I was listening to it to do this review, and I literally had to stop what I was doing and play back, what I kind of heard. Now, it's kind of a very creative and genius song, and it's right that it is very clever, and it is very honest. But then again, I kind of want to say, F you, Ronnie. I don't want to come anywhere near you. He asked the question, why do good girls like bad guys like him? And I think maybe we were hanging on to that notion that you sold us with Not Good Enough for Tooth and Cliche and another song like Makeup that made you out to seem like you could care about somebody. But this song offended me, and I don't get offended by songs. I usually take them lightly and take them for their creativity, but I don't know. I kind of hate this song. Pick Up the Phone was fun and quirky. I thought it was a nice kind of light break, especially before Don't Play with Ouija Boards. In an interview with Alt Press, Ronnie Radke spilled his plans very early on, about what he wanted to do with the new album before anything was even started to be recorded. He said that he wanted to make 2 albums, something very innovative, and he didn't think anyone had ever done this before. It was kind of split down the middle of pop-punk songs and very hard kind of, pseudo-metal songs. And so he was planning on doing something like that. I don't know if this is supposed to be one of those albums, because he wanted to release one later. I don't know if that was the plan, but I don't know which one this would be. If we're going by this song, this one will be a little bit harder, because this is probably one of the hardest songs on the entire album. And if you missed Growling and Screaming, something that was very significant in ETF, then you got it here. Sink or Swim, when I mentioned about him totally perpetuating and practicing and perfecting his craft, this is where his vocal performance was at its top, most glorious. I wasn't paying as much attention to what he was actually trying to say as how amazing some of the notes were. I think he really did try to show us what he can do. And it really blows Craig out of the water, just saying. And then we move on to Caught Like a Fly. This song, out of all of them, gets major style points. I kind of had this strange little circus theme that I've always been attracted to. It's probably something that I'm attracted to in bands like Panic at the Disco. It's quirky, it's really strange, it's new, and not many people do it. The circus theme in this one, though, was more about him giving this announcement, being a ringleader of sorts, and saying, I've got something to get off my chest. Well, that's pretty much the theme of this whole album, Ronnie. Because when we get to the Westerner, it's pretty much the story of his life. If there was something that he didn't say about people that he disliked or people that he wanted to kind of put on the spot, he definitely said it in this song. My favorite lyric is, if home is where the heart is, then my heart has lost all hope. That one is from I'm Not a Vampire. And my favorite song is either I'm Not a Vampire or Caught Like a Fly. I really did enjoy the two of those. And of course all the other ones I mentioned I enjoyed for their own reasons. Again, I really liked and hated this album at the same time for different reasons. I'm going to give it 3 stars. Maybe like 2.5. No, I'll give it 3. What do you think, guys? Do you think that I was right about some of the things I said? I know a lot of you die-hard Ronnie fans will be very angry at me for criticizing him so much. But please note, I am a very avid Ronnie fan and follower myself. So I feel that I can more correctly, without mistake, critique him, knowing his past and now knowing what he can do and what he has done with this album. Comment or video respond below. Thank you everybody for participating. I love to hear what you guys say, and I read them all. And again, some things I disagree with, some things I agree with. And I will see you guys later. Hope you like this review. Did you like it? See you on Monday. Peace, love, rock and roll.